I have come to really enjoy these brisk mornings in my new-to-me home. The fresh snowfall leaves the surrounding area quiet and peaceful, but with that soft sound comes a challenge or two. This Casita doesn't have a built-in heater, so cold weather can be difficult. I'm currently relying on a heater buddy for warmth, and with that, these wintry mornings in the Casita produce a lot of condensation. Wiping down my windows has become a daily occurrence. I don't mind it though. It's a small price to pay to be in such a beautiful location. However, the time is coming for me to pack up and head to our next spot. It is Thanksgiving Day, and I have so much to be thankful for. But it's also hard because it's my first major holiday without Agron, and it's another holiday without Jethro. But Pike and I are going to make the best of this day. It was 19 degrees this morning. It's 28 degrees now, and I don't think it's supposed to get up above mid-30s today, so at some point we're gonna bundle up and go take a hike and just call it a thankful hike. And on that hike, my plan is to acknowledge all of the things that I'm grateful for and just choose to be in a mindset that's positive, even though this holiday is a little bit difficult. So, happy Thanksgiving. This was the second holiday I've spent away from my family since being on the road full time. 3 years ago, I was in Buena Vista, Colorado. I had just moved into the Forerunner a few months earlier, and I was still acclimating to this new way of life. This was the first time since I've been on the road full time that I felt truly lonely. I don't know if it was seasonal depression or starting to get cold and I wasn't ready, but I decided to book a cabin at a campground in town and attempt to make my Thanksgiving meal over the fire. When I checked into the cabin, I was asked how I planned to spend my holiday. So I shared my ideas. The camp host instantly invited me to spend the holiday with them in town with their friends. Normally, I'd say no to these types of social gatherings. I'm not an extroverted person, and I tend to be perfectly content spending my time alone. But something prompted me to accept this kind invitation. So I spent that Thanksgiving welcomed by strangers, and I gained new friends. This year, I was in Central Washington, and similar to my previous experience, I found myself welcomed into another circle of new friends. They say the trail provides, but I think it's a little deeper than that. As I prepare to leave this place and embark on the next leg of this adventure, I reflect on all the times I've encountered people on the road from various walks of life that made a lasting impact on my life. Just one example is the other day, my friend Ronnie sent me a touching video regarding her Blackfeet heritage and how they long for their land to be restored by the mighty buffalo. Because of my lifestyle, my paths crossed with hers and others like her, allowing me to learn, grow my understandings, and widen my views on life. When I first hit the road full time, I had no idea the greater impact it would have on me. It's experiences like these that make this lifestyle so much more fulfilling than I could have ever imagined. I have been looking for a fun winter hobby that I could learn this winter. If you saw my previous video, I went to Hobby Lobby and bought some fabric to cover my seats and a few other items. I wanted to give macrame a try, but it turns out that's just not my thing. However, I dabbled for a few days, and I was proud that I gave something new a try. Okay guys, I have all of these cute leftover pumpkins, and I've got a couple big ones here, bigger ones. I'm gonna put them in a bag because I couldn't carry them all. I have 2 orange little pumpkins, and I need to figure out how to make them cute in here because these are so awesome. And I thought that the white ones would be good for like Christmas time. Y'all, it is cold out there. I don't think today got above freezing, and it's definitely cold right now. So we gotta find, I don't really have a lot of places to put things like this. But aren't they cute? Little pumpkins. Pike and I are gonna go check out the lights because why not? Might as well. And we're not that far from Leavenworth, so. You ready, Pike? Yeah? You wanna go? Yeah, we're gonna go. I am here in downtown Leavenworth, and it's Thanksgiving night, and they just turned on all of the lights, and it is magical. Look at all this. Leavenworth made its transition into a Bavarian-themed village in the early 1960s. The town's popularity started to grow shortly thereafter, and in 1966, the town celebrated its first Christmas lighting festival. It has become one of Leavenworth's most celebrated annual events. While the events have changed over the years, it remains a popular, unforgettable yearly tradition, and I happened to be there the night it opened. That whole experience is a little bit stressful for Pike, but it was nice to say that I did it. I almost didn't because parking's a little bit crazy if you don't want to pay. But surprisingly, the parking ride was free and it wasn't very far of a walk. But now it's time to head back to the camper and get ready to leave. Did you have fun? I think it stressed him out a little bit, but he's a good baby boy. It was a difficult decision to leave Central Washington. I really enjoyed the area. Winter was finally settling in and we had just started to explore the surrounding area. However, I knew that in order for me to comfortably winter in the Casita, I needed to make some big changes. I also needed to find a job that paid a livable wage, and I just wasn't finding it there. So I set my sights south. I didn't realize just how far north I was. It was a 23-hour drive to head back to see my family and an 18-hour drive to go back to my familiar Colorado. So I drove a few hours and stopped at a random rest stop in Oregon for the night. First of all, I am sitting like this, so everything wants to go forward. But also my pens fell out of the ceiling that were holding up my lights. So we just have to do minor maintenance here. I have plenty more where this came from. So we'll fix that and find those pieces, hopefully before they poke us in the butt when we're sleeping. If this is the worst tragedy we've had, while traveling for 6 hours today, I think we're good. I'm thinking salad and soup. But first I'm gonna get in some comfy clothes because I've been driving all day.
You come on up now. Edwards, you take over.
Okay, we just let Pike go potty. It's so cold outside. Oh my God. We gonna be blanketing it up tonight. Aren't we, buddy? Yes, we are. Yes. For a rest stop overnight, it was actually a pretty peaceful evening. This particular rest stop had a 12-hour maximum stay, so we took advantage of the time and rested up for another day of driving. I parked towards the side of the parking area because I wanted to have at least one side of my rig that wasn't blocked by the bigger rigs, and that made a big difference. But man, was it a brisk and frosty morning. Time to make the bed. But now I'm gonna fold all the blankets that we used last night and make the bed a little bit because I like to have a made bed every day. I just feel like it makes everything feel nice and cozy. And I did pull out my two quilts. One, I pulled out the dog quilt, which is basically my hammock quilt that I use. Then I pulled out my rumple, and then I had my other quilt. So we were still really cold. We are not level at all. We are sitting like this, so everything wants to go that way, but I should still be able to use the stove. Okay. Heat up some water, make some coffee, and then I have a croissant I want to warm up on the stove. That's breakfast. Breakfast of champions. I don't feel like cooking a whole big spread this morning. I'm staying at a rest stop, so I need to get out of here, but I have a call in about 2 hours that I really am looking forward to. It's for a job. I want to make sure that I'm somewhere where I have cell phone service when that call comes in, so I want to get somewhere good. So all of the things that I had hanging here, I'm trying to rip this off, but this is some serious tape. All these baskets and stuff that I have hanging, I took off because I didn't know if they'd fall during transit. So I just put them in the sink for now, trying to keep it as clean and organized and empty as possible. So I put most of my things inside the 4Runner. That way there's not a lot of weight back here. And so far I haven't had any issues with the trailer. So I'm doing the Luke challenge, which is where you read a chapter of Luke each day of December. And when you get to Christmas Eve, it's the resurrection, and you've basically read the entire life story of Jesus, which for me is the reason for the season. It is December 5th, so we're gonna go read the 5th chapter in Luke. And some people I've heard have called this the Advent reading. I didn't grow up doing Advent, so at least I don't remember growing up doing Advent, so we're gonna read Luke chapter 5 today, which is titled Jesus Calls His First Disciples, and I think that's so fun. His ministry is just starting at this point, and the reason for the season, baby. Everything's frozen. So glad I kind of winterized my camper the other day. There's a layer of frost on everything, including the car. Well, as you can see, my 4Runner is completely frozen. So I'm gonna start the car and get ready. I need to repack some of my heavier items that I brought in, like my power bank and my 6-gallon water jug, and put it back in the 4Runner. And it is pretty cold, if you can't tell. We are packed, seatbelts on, dog has pottied, been fed, I've pottied, been fed. The propane's off, I checked the tires, I checked the lights with the 7-pin, all things look good. Tire pressure's a little low in the 4Runner, but that'll warm up once we get on the road. Not too bad, otherwise I could pull the air compressor out. Actually, I was smart, I thought ahead. I actually put the air compressor in the back seat because it was up in the cargo box up top, and when it's this cold outside, guys, like the last thing I want to do is fiddle with metal and like dealing with the locks. So I brought the air compressor down and put my black tank hose up in a trash bag because we are prepared. So hopefully it's an uneventful day. We're going through the plains. I really don't know where I'm going. I was kind of sitting tight to wait until today to kind of see if I wanted to go south or east. I would really love to go see Colorado this time of year, but it is freezing. But you know what? Where is it not cold right now? So I'm at this point where I'm like, well, unless I go back to San Diego, it's cold everywhere. Kind of at this point where I could drive 5 hours either direction and it wouldn't impact my driving. Like I could still go to either location if I still drove like southeast. I am in the middle of nowhere, guys. I'm in the middle of nowhere. So we have a full tank of gas. We slept, even though it was really cold. We have a plan for tonight, aside from like where to camp and stuff. So I think I'm gonna drive for a couple hours, stop for lunch, and make a sandwich or something and figure out where we're gonna camp tonight, because I have no idea. We are living life very freely. This place is frozen. It's a frozen tundra. It's a frozen tundra. And you can't hardly see because the fog is so thick. I don't know what's up with Oregon, but they got some fog. They've got some thick fog. That's my new word. They got some fog. It's like 20 degrees outside. You have to stick your head out the window. That's where he wants to be. Okay, I just did my interview and it went really well. And it's snowing outside, you guys. So I'm gonna go buy some RV antifreeze because that's one thing I didn't have time to do before I left, and it's been freaking cold. So I want to make sure that that's done before any damage. I bought this. Isn't that cute? It's pretty. All right. I love having my 4Runner because if I can't find it, I can just look for my Max Tracks on top, which are right there. So, RV safe. It's not just regular antifreeze, it's RV safe. I've already dumped my tanks. So I'm just gonna throw some of this in each of my drains. Guys, I am exhausted. This day wore me out. I don't know why. It wasn't a stressful day. It wasn't a complicated day, but it was a long day. Woke up at the rest stop in Oregon. Everything was frozen. Drove a couple hours to a Walmart. I got the RV antifreeze because I had already winterized my tanks to that point. So I knew I needed to get that. So I got that and I hopefully got it in time. So everything is done with the camper now as far as winterizing it goes. And then I had an interview today. And then I drove another 5 hours pretty much to, you know, get where I am now. And I'm staying in a Cracker Barrel parking lot. But this time we're not gonna freeze. Last night it was so cold. I had the heater buddy, but I only had the green propane tanks, which I'm not a fan of. So I bought an adapter today, an adapter hose. So I've got my heater buddy plugged into one of my 20-pound propane tanks, and I've got ventilation and alarms and things like that, so we'll be safe. I have a feeling I'm gonna go through some propane this winter because it is cold. It's already cold everywhere. Like, it was in the teens last night. So we are heading into winter, my friends. So this is what winter is like. But you know, we're making it work. But I had a great dinner at the Cracker Barrel. I left my leftovers in the car, so I might run outside and grab them when we do our final potty break. But I'm stuffed right now. And I got the last chicken and dumplings of the night. I was pretty okay with that. I was craving chicken and dumplings like all afternoon. So really thankful that this Cracker Barrel is letting me sleep here tonight. I'm not the only one. There's a couple people camped out in the back parking lot. So I'm looking forward to just relaxing and finishing my, well, finishing, yeah, right. And just doing some more work on my, I was going to make this a blanket, but that's a bit daunting. So it might just be a scarf. And right now I'm struggling with my tension with holding the yarn. It's not first nature to me. So it's, anyway, I'm just starting. Yesterday was my first day. So we're okay. I'm going to settle down because I don't know what's going on right now, but I'm like, okay. Yeah, my stitch work is not the greatest. You can see there's some imperfections where things snagged, but that's okay. I love staying at Cracker Barrel parking lots. There's good food, bathrooms while they're open, and it's a moderately safe place to camp for the night. Of course, I lock my doors and always stay alert. Hi, buddy. Are you Are you comfy and you don't want to get up? I've said my good morning to him and he is like, yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna lay right here. He doesn't even want to go outside. This here is what my travel bed looks like. So I've got my main bed, the dog's bed and pillow. That is my bed chair and all of my extra blankets and pillows. Because when I'm traveling, this will all end up right here. It's a frosty morning out there. But it's very much appreciated when they offer a free service like this. And I always try to leave it better than I found it. All right, guys, it is time to load up everything and get back on the road and find some coffee along the way. So I also probably want to find a propane refill station. That way, when I get to my next destination, I'm out there for a few nights. I don't have to worry about it. Or I might just wing it. We'll see. We'll see when I lift it to see how much is left in there, but it's so cold. But it feels good to be ready to slap on some lipstick and just feel good this morning. So let's pack.